Alright, tending bar with Finley. You may notice that in this episode we're not even in a bar. We're in my kitchen. So, today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing mulled wine. It's a popular concept in Europe. I discovered it when I was traveling in Europe. My first encounter with it was the German, Austrian stuff, which is called glühwein, but it's a little bit bitter. I didn't really find something I really liked until I got to Paris. Paris, they call it vin chaud, which is just hot wine. It's delicious. It's sweet. They sell it for like €5 for this giant styrofoam cup, and it's fantastic. So we're going to teach you how to make it. First off, you're going to need some cooking implements. You got your saucepan here, just something cheap to do it. It needs to be about medium size. It's going to hold a bottle of wine and some other stuff in it. I got a ladle for serving it. We got a little wooden stir here. And we need a 1/4 cup measuring thing. We've got a bottle opener. Our ingredients: cheap red wine. This is, I don't know if you can see it, maybe you can. That's an $8 bottle of wine. You can buy as cheap as you want. Really, there's nothing stopping you from buying box wine. It doesn't matter because the spices are just going to take over all the flavor anyway. You get some pepper, some honey. I bought the huge thing of honey because this kind of chews it up pretty quick. Whole cloves, 4 cinnamon sticks, and you can reuse the cinnamon sticks, which is good because they're kind of expensive. I keep them out just for that purpose. And a bottle of cognac. So, what you're going to do, you're going to open up your bottle of wine. Like I said, this is cheap stuff. In France, they don't even use bottled wine. They use like remaindered, cast-off junk wine for this, which is probably why it's so cheap. But just to give you an idea that the quality of the wine doesn't really matter at all. So there's no advantage to using fancy, nice wine. This stuff is, where is this stuff from? This stuff is Spanish, I think. I'm not really sure. You're just going to pour it all out in your pot here. Might want to be a little careful with it. You can end up spilling some of it on your stove. No one likes that. So you're going to put it on the stove. You're going to put it on medium heat. Now then, the rest of it. Pinch of pepper. That looks about right. You're going to use 3 of your cloves here. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to use some of your honey here. 4 cinnamon sticks, like I mentioned. Your honey. Use a 1/4 cup of honey for every bottle of wine you use. And if you want, you could do the all organic fancy honey, but me, I'm more a go to the grocery store and get some honey kind of guy. And if anyone ever tells you to store honey in the refrigerator, don't, because it'll pour even slower than this. Come on. It does take a minute. Put it all in there. There we go. Well, that's heating up. You're going to want to clean out your measuring cup. Hot water will make a quick work of that. Otherwise, it takes a while to get honey out of anything, as some of you are probably aware. Stir it up. Doesn't take much. Nice and gentle. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to simmer it. Don't bring it to a boil because you'll boil off the alcohol. That's no good. Kind of defeats the purpose, to be honest with you. And that'll go a little bit quicker if you put a lid on it. But again, we're only simmering it. We're not boiling it. Once you see it start to bubble just a little bit, you're good.
Several bad puns later.
Okay, our wine started to bubble just a little bit. You see a little bit of foam on the surface. That's just about where we want it. So we take the lid off, open up our cognac, get ourselves a 1/4 cup, and you can just eyeball this stuff if you want. It doesn't really matter. It's the beauty of making something so simple. Pour your cognac in, give it one more good stir. Get that mixed in there nice, and then cut the heat off. Now then, it's done. Get yourself a nice glass. Again, something cheap will work. A wine glass is probably the worst idea for this. You'll want something insulated. This stuff is about 200 degrees. I don't know what that works out to, 90 some odd if you're a communist. Then ladle yourself out some of it. And you'll probably get some cloves in your glass. It doesn't really matter. Set that in there. Put your lid back on, keep it warm, and you're done.